culture, it is always good you ask.
Right, totally.
And for certain cultures, it's funny. Someone, you ask him, why, wasuzote, nasuze bulungi, wasuzote. Naye ne wafeeyo, twasuze bubi. Then you're like, but for sure, I just asked, how was your night? Someone said, my night was fine. But you see, then after, so most of the old people take like, good morning to you, how are you? I'm fine. Then after you come up, but you see, my daughter slept in hospital.
Because we are taught as a society, how are you is a greeting, not an intentional question of how are you really. Yeah.
Well, you've just entered with a story of presidential aspirants now returning requirements by the Electoral Commission, of which one and most major one, apart from academic qualifications and being a voter and having attained the academic qualification, of course being in the register of voter, the most where many are knocked out actually, because we had about 200 plus who picked nomination forms. Of course we had the serious ones, and I later discovered that we even had comedians. There is one I'm seeing, this one who came in khaki, then in a short boots and what. It's later I discovered that the man wanted also to use that opportunity to promote himself and his
TikTok
followers, comedy. He's an actor.
Oh, wow. So
he also took advantage. He reminded me of the late Paddy Bitama. I don't know if you were born by then.
Yes, I know he contested for presidency in a year I don't remember, but I know.
We also had one called Senkubuge. I think I usually see him on one of the local TV stations.
But he actually does a current affairs show.
Yes, that is Senkubuge. Yes. He also once contested. He came in a dramatic way, came there, did his drama. Now after him came Paddy Bitama, and now in this 2025, 2026, we also have another character there. He usually puts on boots and then a khaki short, then some tie or something like that. But now the reality is kicking in, because you must have 100 signatures from 98 districts. Now, getting these signatures, because these must be voters. These must be voters. Now that means you have the ability to traverse 98 districts of Uganda, or you have a system. For political parties, one would say it's easy. For example, NRM, I want to believe also National Unity Platform. Right. You have people there, so the chairman gets you this one, and already in that district you can have the 100 signatures. But for many of these candidates, what is going to kick them out is, leave alone the money, the 20 million, that someone can get, but collecting those signatures. I saw one of the young lads in the race, forgotten his name. He speaks more like Honorable Fred Mukasambide. I think he was from Chambogo University. Trying to get the name I had. It's just skipped my mind, but I'll get us removed now. This young lad was in northern Uganda, deep there, but explaining how hard it is for him to get signatures. So I believe this is the point where out of the 200 plus, you may only see a quarter of them having the ability to collect those signatures.
Indeed, indeed. That's where the determinant of who is who comes into the picture. But we are here to bring you all the stories as they transpire. And for now, let's take a look at what we have on the local scene.
We'll begin with the LRA, the Lord's Resistance War victims, losing trust in the International Criminal Court. Now, the confirmation of charges against the notorious Lord's Resistance Army leader Joseph Kony left many victims in dilemma. To them, it sounds strange to hear that their tormentor is being tried in his absentia. Speaking in an exclusive interview, many say it's proof that the world has failed to arrest and bring Kony before courts of law. The International Criminal Court's confirmation of charges against Kony in absentia raised more questions than what would be answers among the victims of the LRA insurgency in northern Uganda. The court coming up to say that Kony will answer charges without Kony in the dock has left many victims speechless and losing faith in the international justice system of the ICC. A selected parliamentary committee appointed by the Speaker, Anita Among, to investigate issues surrounding the Nachivubo drainage channel has met with businessman Hamis Chigun to discuss his development plan for this drainage channel. This selected committee were led by Dan Kimotho and David Kabanda, with other members of parliament who inspected the ongoing works at the drainage. Previous motions sparked from different individuals and politicians concerning the development of Nachivubo channel by businessman Hamis Chigundu. This prompted Parliament's Committee on Commission, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to start inquiries, but the Speaker stopped them and ordered a selected committee to first investigate this matter. The appointed committee, led by the chairperson Dan Kimotho, has inspected the ongoing works at Nachivubo drainage channel and gave a period of 2 weeks to submit their findings. Following the inspection, Kimotho stated that the committee will engage with various stakeholders to gather their views on the drainage development. The committee has agreed with the idea of developing this drainage channel to the city standards. Hamis Chigundu, a businessman who was given the chance to develop this drainage channel by the president, has appealed to Kampala residents to support this development, cautioning them against politicians who always oppose progress. According to Hamis Chigundu, this drainage channel for many years has been used in unlawful acts like hiding thieves and flooding when it rains. The Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee presented its findings on the Auditor General's report for different entities for the financial year ended 30th June 2024. Government plan to spend 52 trillion shillings, which was later revised to 61 trillion shillings. The committee observed that government actually revenue realized was 47 trillion shillings, leading to an over-expenditure. The committee further discovered that government also had an overdraft of 1.57 trillion from unauthorized borrowing. This overdraft was later settled by revenue of another financial year. The Auditor General's report also indicates how government had an overdraft of 1.57 trillion shillings, which was unauthorized borrowing. This was later settled by revenue from another financial year. In the same financial year, government accumulated payables from 10 trillion in the financial year 2022-2023 to 1.3 trillion by the end of the financial year 2023-2024. The committee also observed that payables had increased where government accumulated 6 trillion in 1 year. The Auditor General also noted that the total of 11 trillion worth of invoices remained unfunded by the close of the financial year. Winding up local stories this morning, His Highness Aga Khan V has officially arrived in Uganda, where he was warmly welcomed at Entebbe International Airport by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Achen. His visit marks a significant occasion of partnership and mutual development. Later, His Highness was received by His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni alongside the First Lady and also Minister for Education and Sports, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, during a meeting held at State House, Entebbe. The Aga Khan's two-day official visit will feature the launch of the Aga Khan University and the commissioning of the construction of the Aga Khan Hospital. Additionally, he is scheduled to meet with the Ismail community in Uganda. Now, that brings us to the end of our local stories this morning. Let's take a look at what the rest of the world has for us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Robert. And looking at a story that is rather sad, by the time most of us slept last night, Charlie Kirk, the founder of the conservative youth activist organization Turning Point USA, had just been shot, and most of America was praying for his life to be preserved. But unfortunately, he passed away after he was shot during an event at Utah Valley University yesterday. President Donald Trump did confirm this, and quote unquote, he said the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. Trump said on social media, no one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. Utah Governor Spencer Cox called the fatal shooting a political assassination. The manhunt for the suspected shooter is still underway, and the investigation is still ongoing, according to FBI Director Kash Patel. The Utah Department of Public Safety said in an update Wednesday night that the two people who were initially taken into custody after the shooting later were released, and the first was released and later charged with obstruction by university police. The second person was taken into custody and released after an interrogation by law enforcement. That is a report from the department. Well, may he rest well. Moving on to the Middle East, Israel has ordered the entire population of Gaza City to leave as its forces prepare to capture the north of the Gaza Strip. Israeli airstrikes have continued to destroy tower blocks, and the army says it now has operational control of 40% of the city as ground forces prepare to fight what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called the last important stronghold of Hamas. Netanyahu this week said 100,000 people had left the city, but up to 1 million people are still living there, many in tents or shelters. Many of them say they will not or cannot leave. After a strike hit a tower block near his home today, Ammar Sukar called on Hamas negotiators to come and negotiate from a tent, not from air-conditioned rooms in Qatar, and insisted he would stay in the city. Whether you like it or not, Netanyahu, we're not leaving, he told a trusted freelancer working for the BBC. Go and deal with Hamas. Go and kill them. We're not to blame, and even if we're buried here, we're not leaving. This is my land. Well, Shaban, also living near the tower that was targeted yesterday, said they had been given 15 minutes to flee before the strike. Quote unquote, when we come back, the tents, the flour, everything has gone. Nothing is left. It's all to pressure us to go south, but we don't even have the money to go. We can't even afford flour to eat. Transport to the south costs 1,500 shekels. Right, now let's move on to the continent. And nearly 130 people have been summarily executed by Islamist insurgents in Niger in separate attacks since March. This is a report by the Human Rights Watch, and the rights group says gunmen carried out a series of brutal attacks, including a mass murder at a mosque in the western Tillaberi region in June, where more than 70 worshippers were shot dead during prayers. There were more bodies everywhere, one on top of the other, a local woman expressed, who lost 3 of her sons in the attack and was quoted by the Human Rights Watch as saying, now the spate of attacks is a major blow to the credibility of Niger's military junta, as it promised to curb the insurgency when it took power after deposing President Mohamed Bazoum in 2023, and about 1,600 civilians have been killed by Islamic State group fighters in Niger since the coup. HRW says, citing figures collected by the conflict monitoring group ACLED, the jihadists group have also destroyed schools, religious sites, and have imposed severe restrictions on the freedoms of people based on their interpretation of Islam. That is a report by the Human Rights Watch, which brings us to the end of what we have on the global scene. Quickly, let's have a look at what we have in the press today, Robert.
Well, I have the New Vision,
Right.
and big headline there, 11 presidential aspirants hand in voters list. Now, each must have collected or been seconded by 100 voters in every district, and a total of 98 districts are what the Electoral Commission requires Now ask the commissioner, well, that is in the vision. The commissioner, Uganda Revenue Authority, answering that is to the questions of the public. That's the Commissioner General. Now, rare earth metals found in Lamor, Karamoja. This area is so blessed with minerals.
Trump would be the happiest in case he landed on it.
Now we have over 180 tenders for you in the new vision. NSSF savers higher, that is returns. And His Highness Aga Khan V visits Uganda. Then also Bella Grain. What is that? Well, I think it's something in terms of value addition on Ugandan market. It looks like corn. Now, still looking at the new vision. Who are those that returned? I see Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, that is the Noob, Honorable Munyagwa, and many others that make up the 11. Even the young man I just talked about. He seems to have successfully gotten them. And he is back. Yes, Judy, take us to Kenya and Tanzania. We see what the papers got for us.
Right, indeed. Starting off with Tanzania, the headline there, DSE CEO, Tanzania poised to be sustainable capital hub. That is the headline there. And also the other story to look at, CRDB Bank Foundation, Mazao Hub agreement to benefit 500,000 farmers. And Samia, war on corruption has delivered real development. Also rising suicide cases, a wake-up call for Tanzania. Story to look forward to in The Citizen. Now, let's quickly take a look at what we have in the Daily Nation. Colored orange is the Daily Nation, but with a headline, how slain lawyer was ambushed. That is the story there. Assassination. MP Charles Were was murdered in similar drive-by shooting in May.
Now that was a common issue in Uganda here, where people moving on borders would gun down people. But at least we've tried, and the Lord has been faithful. We thank our security personnel that we've now taken some time without having those shooting VIPs.
True story.
But in Kenya, it seems the criminals either, there's what we call transnational crime. That either there are people who are doing this thing in this country and they're the very ones exporting bad manners to another country, or it is the same group, or these ones have just copied something that they have seen work in another country, and they're also opting to use the same in their country.
Right, indeed. Now, with that, brings us to the end of what we have in the dailies today. Time for us to have a short break. But did you know the song I Will Always Love You, which is mostly known as a song by Whitney Houston, was actually originally written by Dolly Parton. And for those who love country music, I know you know, if you love your country music, you know the version by Dolly Parton. But here's the fun fact. Dolly Parton wrote this song, I Will Always Love You, about her professional split with Porter Wagner, her mentor and duet partner. It wasn't really a romantic song at all.
Yet
in
it
the
works
start.
for us.
And by the time Whitney Houston sang it and released it in 1992, it was a love story, and the video was from the movie The Bodyguard. For now, enjoy that song as a throwback, released in 1992. I Will Always Love You, the version by Whitney Houston. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's a Thursday, and you're watching UBC TV. And in case you are missing a thing, now candidates vying for the presidency in the upcoming elections, 2026 general elections, that is, have started submitting the required signatures to the Electoral Commission and are now awaiting verification. Robert Chagulanyi submitted more than the signatures that are required, as stated by his General Secretary, Louis Rwongoya, and other candidates that submitted were Evans Mayambala and Wycliffe Kasaija. Meanwhile, the EC completed the nomination process of local council leaders in municipalities and divisions across the country. Also, His Highness Aga Khan V officially arrived in Uganda, and the detail of his visit is in just a bit. Welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono. Good morning, Robert.
Lovely morning to you, Julie, and our viewer. Thank you very much for waking up with us this lovely morning. I don't know how you are. At least I must say I'm 50-50. I don't know about you.
I'm good. I'm well. Yeah.
I can see. I can see. Though in our culture, it is always good you ask.
Right. Totally.
And for certain cultures, it's funny. Someone you ask him, why? Then you're like, but for sure, I just asked, how was your night? Someone said, my night was fine. But you see, then after, so most of the old people take like, good morning to you, how are you? I'm fine. Then after you come up, but you see, my daughter slept in hospital.
Because we are taught as a society, how are you is a greeting, not an intentional question of how are you really. Yeah.
Well, you've just entered with a story of presidential aspirants now returning requirements by the Electoral Commission, of which one and most major one, apart from academic qualifications and being a voter and having attained the academic qualification, of course being in the register of voter, the most where many are knocked out actually, because we had about 200 plus who picked nomination forms. Of course, we had the serious ones, and I later discovered that we even had comedians. There is one I'm seeing, this one who came in khaki, then in a short boots and what. It's later I discovered that the man wanted also to use that opportunity to promote himself and his
TikTok
followers, comedy. He's an actor.
Oh, wow.
So he also took advantage. He reminded me of the late Paddy Bitama. I don't know if you were born by then.
Yes, I know he contested for presidency in a year I don't remember, but I know.
We also had one called Senkubuge. I think I usually see him on one of the local TV stations.
But he actually does a current affairs show.
Yes, that is Senkubuge. Yes. He also once contested. He came in a dramatic way, came there, did his drama. Now after him came Paddy Bitama, and now in this 2025, 2026, we also have another character there. He usually puts on boots and then a khaki short, then some tie or something like that. But now the reality is kicking in, because you must have 100 signatures from 98 districts. Now,
campaign registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes, including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge. Promote road safety and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
The Presidential CEO Forum will host the 6th Biennial Private Sector CEO Retreat, Marketing Uganda. The retreat will take place from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 at Mountains of the Moon Hotel in Fort Portal City, Kabarole District. It will be held under the theme Transforming Uganda into a Preferred Tourism Destination, Enhancing Public-Private Investment in Infrastructure, Conservation, Digitalization, Product Diversification, Marketing and Tourist Safety. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. If you are just joining in, you're welcome. This is Good Morning Uganda. And if you started the show with us, thank you so much for sticking and watching the show continuously as we progress through it. Time for the real. And in this conversation today, what we're looking at really is community health and safety during campaigns and elections. Now, in this election season, it's important to consider that. And while we reflect on it, we also have leaders who ensure it. And how are we to do that? We are in studio with a country director who has just taught me some Swedish of LM International. LM stands for Läkarmissionen International, which means Doctors on a Mission. And she is also the chairperson of Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, UWAPA. Her name is Juliet Namkasa. Two Julies coming to you live from UBC TV and from Nile Avenue. Be a part of the show, 0709-602-592. Good morning, Juliet.
Good morning, Juliet. It's nice being here and
I know,
seeing
right?
that we are namesakes.
I know, right?
Very beautiful.
Thank you so much for braving the early morning and coming through. And let's start off with, well, in the context of Uganda and Uganda's election period over the years and the experience you've had as well as a Ugandan. How would you define leadership integrity?
Allow me first to say a little about LM International. LM International, we are a Swedish foundation in over 25 countries. But here in Uganda, we are in northern Uganda, in Pade, and then we're also in the refugee setting in Rhino Camp and Kyangwali Refugee Settlement. We do water hygiene and sanitation, a bit of education, livelihoods, and mental health and substance use prevention. Leadership integrity, for me, I would like to say it is leading by example.
Right.
Setting the pace, being ethical, being the person of your word, setting the example in that you are not ashamed for people to follow your example. You can boldly say, like Paul said, do as I do. Yeah.
Very precise. There's not much we can add to that, but let's move on and look at the role of NGOs such as the ones you represent right now in your position. What role do you think they play in promoting integrity amongst political players that drives into the electorate at the end of the day?
One of the things that we have done, and again, I'll look at what we are doing at community level. We work a lot in northern Uganda. One of the things is for us promoting that it is, we challenge the leaders to hold the people to hold their leaders accountable, so that leaders don't just do what they want to do. And in that, we are challenging the leaders to be what their people want them to be. Because if you're not going to be held accountable, you can be anything. You can do anything. But if you know that your people are going to demand a certain standard, that's a starting point for you to do your best to live up to it. But we also teach them. We have leadership sessions, and we have done a lot of that at grassroots level, where we are teaching them what leadership is, what setting the pace is, how you can help your community move to the next level, the consequences of misconduct or bribery during elections, because we have seen, especially among those poor communities, they've been given very, very small things, a cup of, they give them, there's a time they brought them a jerry can of alcohol. It was a meeting, they gave them, you can have that. They've given them sugar, they've given them soap, and we're telling the people that these guys are compromising you. So then in that way, we are challenging the leaders to look a little deeper into themselves and see what is it that we are giving the people, what is the manifesto, what difference we want to make in society.
Right.
Yes.
And I would actually now try to understand the deeper picture of this. When you're at the grassroots speaking to all these individuals, are you dealing with just those who are aspiring to lead, or even the electorate themselves?
we are dealing with both.
Right.
Because it is the voters who pay the price when we do not have good leaders in place. And unfortunately, some of these rural communities we are working with, they do not know the power of their vote. So we educate them about the power of their vote. I call it gold, because it is that one vote that you give to someone that is going to give them access to so much opportunities, to so much wealth, to so much. But what are you getting in exchange of that one vote? Are you just going to settle for a bar of soap, or are you going to look for better education? So we are teaching them to bargain better, demand from their leaders, because we have leaders who are bosses, not necessarily servants. We call them honorables when they are supposed to be serving us. We bow down before them instead of us demanding services from them, holding them accountable. And
in other words, we are the honorables.
We are the honorables. They call themselves servants. When they are coming, they actually bow down to us. And then when they have gotten into offices, things change immediately. They become so important. And we tell the electorate, you are important, because it is you who holds the key to this person's success.
Right. And be a part of the conversation, honorable viewer, 0709-602-592. As it is that you have the power and you give away your power. That is very, very key to note and to learn and to take it seriously at that. Now, let's look at how the election process affects community health-wise, physically, and anything outside physical.
Now, when we talk about physically and then health, I would like to bring it to public health, because that's of much importance to us. Today, we have seen a lot of people's safety being compromised because some of the campaigns turn rowdy, they turn violent. Unfortunately, the vulnerability increases not just to the electorate, but also journalists. We've seen them being beaten up. And worse still, when the people are looking for votes, they do so many things, including distribution of alcohol. Yes. And for me, that has been one of those things that I do not understand about our leadership, because we know the dangers of alcohol. So we go for a vote by compromising the health of the people. We compromise their productivity, we compromise even the safety of the families, because after the meeting, if someone has drunk themselves silly, you go back home, you have not left food there, definitely you want to eat, because wherever you have been, nobody has given you food. So you go back home, you demand what you didn't leave there. And what comes up at last, we see violence coming up. But also, because people are rowdy, that excitement, people end up into accidents and all that, which again weighs heavily on our nation.
Right. And looking at, both indeed the health, but also the safety of communities, you've mentioned that you operate mostly in northern Uganda. And at large, as Ugandans, now people have a certain mentality or a certain headspace of operation in regards to voter bribery, or in regards to who they vote. Once upon a time, we hosted somebody here, and she was still talking about integrity. Vote someone who has integrity, who has a family. If they cannot look after their own family, as primarily as that, why are you voting them in the first place, right? And lots of comments and views came in, such as, why should I vote for that person if they've not given me money? And you could tell that it was normal. It was normal business. So how do you think this mindset should change across Uganda, and not just for northern Uganda, but across Uganda, so that at the end of the day we are represented by a parliament that we are proud of?
There is a lot of work that we have to do at all levels, because it has to be a whole paradigm shift. We have to work on mindset transformation, and we have to start investing in elections, not a few months to the voting, but this whole civic education should be the ongoing thing. People need to know their rights within the Constitution, that it is my constitutional right to have ABCD, it is my constitutional right to have this. So I do not have to settle for little. This member of parliament, this LC5 chairman, is not helping me by giving me a cup of tea. I can actually demand for more than that. We need to help our people to be very bold. I remember in 2013, I went to Kenya, and they had what they called the Kenya Mpya, where the electorate was so empowered, and they would look at getting an MP as you would get a CEO for the organization.
Right.
So the community had an agenda. They had their own development goals. And what they would do, they would interview the MPs. The MP who would pass would be like a CEO. It's like they are hiring you. So you are not doing them a favor. They are actually doing you a favor. They are employing you. And I remember that empowered the Machakos community so much that that time they had some of the best governors there. And that is what we need to do in Uganda, to help Ugandans not to settle for crumbs when we actually have the right to sit on the dining table.
Right.
Yeah.
An empowered electorate. That's,
yes.
That's quite a highlight. And I'm thinking of one. I haven't seen an empowered electorate in Uganda. I wonder how that can begin right now as we look forward to 2026. But it's pertinent. It's important. Now let's look at the issue of alcohol, which is such a disease. Some are as addicted that it's hard to get away, and they are selling their souls to this vice and selling their nation at that. Do you have data or observations available showing links between political mobilization and increased alcohol consumption?
We have not actually done all those studies, but in some of these meetings we have seen things happening.
Right.
Like for me, I work in Pade, and we have seen that done because we do community mobilization meetings. So at times we are in the middle of a meeting, and a candidate comes. This candidate will say, I'm going to do ABCD for you and have this money for alcohol. But just recently here during these primaries, we have seen, and this is what touched my heart, we have seen in some of these campaigns alcohol being splashed out. And I do not have to have, we do not have to have thousands of people involved in this, because every life is important. And that's why these people are going out for every vote. So if we are going to have 10 people who are going to waste away because of alcohol, then we have a problem. And someone told me previously that, because we're talking about alcohol, somebody told me that actually as we draw towards voting, it gets worse, because some candidates buy alcohol for their opponents' voters so that they drink throughout the entire night, and then the following day they are not able to go and vote. So we see that some of our leaders go to so much length to secure the offices they so much desire. And we are saying that cannot be, because we are killing Uganda. And unfortunately, it is the very vulnerable and the youth who go for some of these campaigns, and they are the ones who waste away, who can settle for 2,000. You and me cannot settle for 2,000, something of what I give for 2,000.
Yes.
Yes, I cannot settle for that because I can buy for myself more. But it is the very poor who are supposed to be protected that we take advantage of. Now, that is unacceptable for a leader in Uganda.
Surely, indeed. 0709602592, WhatsApp number that you should engage by text. WhatsApp, not call, because when you call, I'm not able to pick your call to respond. But when you write that message via WhatsApp, I'm able to read it, and you responded to effectively. Nzomugaga Saurembo Nabweru, Councillor Addako Kazo Muganzirwaza Kwendi Ntumbude. Thank you so much, Omugaga Saurembo. Good morning. Thank you for the show. I love what I'm hearing. Doctor being hosted. Indeed, what she is describing, first and foremost, she is not a doctor. At least she hasn't revealed that. But she says that you say that she is describing what the leaders we elect to give us, you and me who go and cast our votes. It's a wake-up call for all Ugandans to listen to the message before we elect leaders of our choice. We all know as citizens of this nation, it's our obligation to vote, but we need to vote wisely. I wish the message goes up to grassroots level because money has changed the mindset of voters, and people don't vote leaders, they vote money. You are called Felix Jalpara from Moroto, Karamoja region, and you say big ups to our guest. Thank you so much for being on the show, Felix. Now, Juliet, I will ask, what measures is UWAPA advocating for when it comes to reducing alcohol-related issues during election seasons?
One of the things that we are advocating for right now is for our leaders, one, not to take advantage of the electorate, to be the leaders that we expect them to be, the leaders who are going to drive Uganda to the next level. When I move and they talk about Uganda being poor, my heart is sunken because I know that we are the pearl of Africa. We are very rich. We are gifted by nature. And our president has always prided in the youthful population that we have. So I tell our leaders, we have gold on our hands, the youth. But if we are going to turn that gold into trash, that is not right. So can our leaders present their manifesto so that people vote for the substance you are going to give them and not just settle for less than the best. Do not send that message to tell the people that you can stoop so low to get the vote that you really want. But also the other one is that we have the faith actors. Uganda prides in being a religious country, and every week the Interreligious Council informed us that they interface, that faith alone interfaces with 20 million Ugandans. So if we got our religious leaders bringing this subject of national importance on their pulpits, wherever they stand, and they start talking about the right of Ugandans, the power of the vote, the democratic process, how we need to protect it, that will make a lot of difference. Right. Then we have the cultural leaders. They too wield a lot of powers. And when the politicians are gone, culture stays. So we are also saying, cultural leaders, can you amplify your voice? Because these politicians come to you, they want to speak to your people. Can you challenge them? And then we also have these caucuses. We have the Buganda, we have the Acholi, we have Bunyoro. What are we doing? For example, right now, Karamoja ranks highest in Uganda in alcohol use. But at the same time, it is the poorest community. What are the Karamoja leaders, cultural leaders doing? When the politicians are coming with so much alcohol, let culture speak, because culture is looking into the development of the people. Talk. Acholi sub-region, they are also very, very poor. I am from Hoima. My God, you look at a 30-year-old and he looks like he's 50 years, sunken. I mean, it is really bad. Right. Can we have the Manyoro? Can we have the Baganda? Talk to the MPs that let us do it right. Let us develop our people. We need a developed Uganda. Right.
When we look at manifestos, you've talked about the issue of manifestos, and it's very pertinent. Many a times, of course, leaders of political parties release their manifestos. And like you rightfully said, let these leaders actually present their manifestos. But are we, the electorate, actually paying attention? Because there are those who speak. There are those who print them out and post them on their websites and make them available. They might not even talk about them. But are we, as the electorate, paying attention? Or we are just superficially moving with the wave?
Now, that's a very good question. I realize that it is a certain category of people who go for these campaigns. I don't remember when I last attended a campaign.
Right.
Simply because I feel like it is not secure. So unless there is a TV show or a radio talk show, that's when I listen. So we have a number of people, I'm sorry to say, who have lost confidence in the electoral process. And it is those who have the capacity to interrogate some of these manifestos. So some of the people we are having who go for these campaigns, they are dependent on a meriyalero. If you give me omutwalo, if I'm able to get 10,000 from this campaign today, tomorrow I'll go elsewhere. That is where the problem is. And that's why we need to do a lot of work sensitizing our electorates that we can listen really good. And then those of us who have the capacity to interrogate the manifesto, not to lose faith in our country, because, okay, we may lose faith in our leaders, but let us not lose faith in our country. Let us keep fighting. Let us be there. Let us challenge our leaders. Let us not give them a walkover and then they sail through with their every nothing. But also we need to help our leaders to know that when we challenge them, we are not actually, it is not a sign of disrespect, because we are living in a community where leaders are not supposed to be challenged, they're supposed to be bowed down to. I remember in Abim, one of the RDCs saying he considered this community stubborn and very difficult. He said the Alerek people are so stubborn. They came here and they were asking very tough questions. And when we asked what they were asking for, they were actually demanding for services. They were saying, we know you planned. You told us this. Where is our water system? And some of the leaders don't take that lightly. It feels like, who are you to challenge us? But we need to know that we can challenge them. And those of us who can do that. Can we step in? Can we get out of our comfort zone? Because we are living in this Uganda. Some of us tomorrow will not be here, but we are shaping the Uganda that our children are going to take over. So for you, maybe it's okay, but what kind of Uganda is your child going to inherit? So we need to save this pearl of Africa.
Powerful indeed. Now, this conversation does have to come to a close. But let me end it with a comment. Hello, Ms. Namukasa is on spot as if she was or is in Amolata. It's dangerous what money and alcohol has done to the politics of Uganda. When you talk to the electorates and not give them money, they boo you, and your opponents also decampaign you. In Amolata, they say, Acham tutu. I hope I've pronounced it right. But thank you so much for being on the show. Juliet Namukasa is the country director at LM International, and she is also the chairperson at Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, OWAPA. What would be your parting shot?
My parting shot is that let us love Uganda. And one of the ways we're going to show that we love Uganda is how we are going to participate in this electoral process. Our candidates, do not bribe the people. Do not settle for less. Do not show us that you don't love Uganda that much, that you're willing to sell Uganda for, you are willing to buy Uganda for a morsel of bread. That is not fair, and that is not right. Electorate, our vote is our gold, and it is our power. Let us cast wisely. Thank you so much.
Right, indeed, very pertinent indeed. And one of the things I've picked from Juliet is that you might lose faith in your leader, but do not lose faith in your country. And if you ask me, from my perspective, if you cheat, it's a reflection of how you see yourself. And it's a reflection of, in other words, how low you see yourself. And that's why you choose to stoop lower. But honorable viewer, I look forward to an empowered electorate. For now, let's head to Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
The Presidential CEO Forum will host the 6th Biennial Private Sector CEO Retreat, Marketing Uganda. The retreat will take place from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 at Mountains of the Moon Hotel in Fort Portal City, Kabarole District. It will be held under the theme Transforming Uganda into a Preferred Tourism Destination, Enhancing Public-Private Investment in Infrastructure, Conservation, Digitalization, Product Diversification, Marketing and Tourist Safety. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call a Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we begin to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Mata Mata Dadang, Mata Uganda, Mata Ikarimajong. We are in Nakapiripiti for the Karamoja Cultural Festival. It's a lot of color, a lot of cultures, a lot is happening here. It's just beauty. Talking about culture, you must be wondering what I'm actually carrying. This is a seat, which also operates as a pillow in the Karimajong culture. I was surprised because you'll find one smaller than this, and men will sit on it. Ladies don't sit on this, it's the men that sit on this. So there's a variety of tribes here. Talking about the Bokora, Mathaniko, you talk about the Pian where we are now, and those are known to be the most hospital in the Karimaja community. You talk about the Ik, talk about the Pokot, oh my God, and that is why you find the black milk. Let me not spoil for you, we are here for it, and we shall be bringing you all the information that you need to know about Karamoja. Most of you have known this land to be, you know, very scary. When you tell anyone you're coming to Karamoja, they're really scared. But guess what? We're here happy, looking so beautiful in their culture outfit, and indeed they are hospitable. It's shining, there are mountains, it's not a desert. Stick around to see what's in Karamoja.
My name is Arthur Ramafa, the Senior Marketing Officer at Uganda Tourism Board. I'm here to tell all Ugandans that the Karamoja Cultural Festival is on. And as Uganda Tourism Board, we stand with the Karamoja people at this Karamoja Cultural Festival to celebrate the unique traditions, the dance, the music, the culture, the heritage. We invite all Ugandans to be part of this festival and explore what is unique about Karamoja, their food, their heritage. We as Uganda Tourism Board, we are part of this celebration to just show the world that please come and explore the uniqueness of the Karamoja people, the diversity, the heritage. This program is going to showcase what is truly, truly unique about Uganda Tourism Board and Uganda at large, and we call all of you to be part of this festival. On the last day, tomorrow we're going to have a game drive in Pian Upe, and we want to thank Uganda Wildlife Authority for opening up this park for the next 3 days. And we want to call all the people in Karamoja to go out there and be part of this open park day in Pian Upe. And on the last day, we expect to see the Vice President of Uganda closing this festival. Our management as Uganda Tourism Board, our CEO, our Deputy CEO, our management and staff are all going to be part of this festival. We look forward to showcasing our unique traditions and products. And tomorrow, our Deputy CEO will be making a presence here at the Karamoja Cultural Festival. See you all. Thank you.
We have a few people who come to Karamoja, like the non-Karamojongs. When they come to Karamoja, when they have even no business, the business booms. But they sell a bad name of the Karamojong so that those other people don't come and cause problems. Karamoja is too welcoming. For us, we don't say you don't call us so that we include the program. Every time the Karamojong or there is a good gathering, everybody is welcome. The Karamojongs are welcoming people. And if somebody could come and have a test, I think he will appreciate. And those ones who have appreciated are those ones who are talking hill of Karamoja, especially those ones within and getting something good in Karamoja. They don't want others to come and test the fruits of Karamoja. Especially, we have our Karamojong here, even the people themselves are too bright. They are too original. Of course, if they can reach to levels you can imagine, they can be able to do something, especially in terms of education. So we want everybody to come and reach Karamoja and see by themselves the goodness of it.
Yes, welcome Ugandans. This is Karamoja Festival, where the Karamojongs, the Pokots, the Wat, we're all welcome to this festival. Here we celebrate our cultures, our heritage, our familism. As you can see, there are different cultures here, hats, Wat, Nakatukos in particular. This represents us, you know. In Karamoja there's a lot to see, there's a lot to be amazed about. The mountains, the people, in fact the game parks, there is Kidepo Game Park, there are game reserves, you get to see the animals, the wildlife. Don't fear us, Karamojongs, we are not tough people, we are kind. If you get to know us, you know, we'll give you food, we'll show you the best time. This Karamojong festival has brought unity. It has happened for like 6 years now. Every year we have it. Other Karamojongs come together for this festival to show our culture, to show our hospitality to other visitors, tourists. Whoever wants to come can come. It's available for everyone. Come enjoy, see the people, communicate. We have music, we have what. Be happy to be among the people of Uganda. We are the Karamojongs, do not fear us. We are happy people, we are jolly people. Don't fear us. Thank you for having us.
My name is Lomo Bettina. I'm a student at Gulu University. I'm in my 3rd year. I'm a Karamojong by tribe, and I'm from Nakapiprit district. Yeah, I am here to celebrate the Karamoja cultural event, which brings over 9 districts of Karamoja. That is Amudat, Kabong, Habim, Nakapiripirit, Kotido, Moroto, among others. Karamoja is a big region, and it comes together in this event once in a year to celebrate the peace that Karamoja has got over years for now, and also they come together to share the traditional food, the traditional dances, and on top of that they also do some bit of trade exhibition. As you can see people around, it's really a beautiful thing, and people have traveled all over the world from different parts of the country to come and join Karamoja. It's a beautiful culture, the dressing alone and the food that people are going to be eating. It's just going to be a mega event. I welcome each and everyone to attend this, and even the students from different universities are coming to attend. Yes, I'm a Karamojong and I'm a Pian. Yes, I'm a Pian because Karamoja has got different, let me say different Kalishas. They are Pian, they are GA, they are Pokots, and so on. So for me, I'm a Pian from Nakapiriprit district. What is unique about the Pian is that one, we are people from southern Karamoja, and obviously we grow sorghum, and our staple food is of course sorghum, and they are also pastoralists. As you know, there is nothing much unique about it, but just that Karamoja generally is a semi-desert place, and we grow sorghum as a staple food. Yes, and they are pastoralists in general.
Happening today is day 1, where everyone is coming in. Of course, people, Uganda tourism bodies here, Uganda Wildlife Authority, but most importantly, I got to see a number of the GA coming in, and these were actually singing about peace, singing about people coming together to unite. You'll get to see the music, you'll get to see the colors, you'll get to see the different uniforms. Stick around, today is day 1, and we still have more days to come.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Welcome back from GMU Tourism Express. What a colorful event it was at the Kejong Festival. That is the Karamojong Festival. Beautiful culture to indeed exhibit and to check out and learn more about, because many times we judge different cultures without even knowing a lot about them, but just because people say and people say. So I think that was a beautiful one, lovely, and looking forward to looking at watching more series that took place at the Karamoja Festival. Time for GMU Business. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and Uganda has recorded achievements in the Asian African Legal Consultant Organization, AALCO, which achievements that have seen the country develop and strengthen the relationship with member states. According to the canon, Sam Wairagara, the Deputy Head of Governance and Program Secretariat and JLOS, while at the ALCO session, the notable achievements include peace with member states, boosting trade, and coming up with treaties aimed at strengthening international legal work. Uganda, together with other member states under the Asian African Legal Consultant Organization, have entered the third day of its season. And the AALCO session is aimed at promoting international legal cooperation and to provide a platform for member states to discuss and influence developments in international law, such as the law of the sea, climate change, cybersecurity, international trade law, peace and security, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Canon Warigara, Sam, Deputy Head of Governance and Program Secretariat at the Deputy Senior Advisor at JLOS, highlighted some of the achievements from the African Legal Consultant Organization to Uganda, including boosting imports and exports. On several occasions, Uganda has been faced with challenges in regards to dealing in trade with the neighboring countries, but with the AALCO, such challenges are yet to be addressed. Although with their challenges faced, and that is in Uganda, since time immemorial, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Norbert Mao says that this has not hindered Uganda towards its targets and development. Moving on, Karamoja grassroots, and that is grassroots women are demanding equality, and that is with land rights and cultural preservation through the Karamoja Women Cultural Group, indigenous NGO empowering women in leadership and decision making. In Napak district, major donors, including the embassies of the Netherlands, Ireland, Sweden, and Denmark, visited the review progress and hear the challenges women face. The event, officiated by RDC Milton Odongo, highlighted the importance of partnerships in transforming marginalized communities. Women leaders said support from partners is enabling economic independence and stronger voices in community affairs. Donors reaffirmed commitment, stressing women's empowerment as vital for peace, resilience, and cultural preservation. All right, moving on. Kampala Minister Hajat Minsa Kabanda has urged citizens aspiring for leadership positions, especially in next year's general elections, to prioritize the interests of the people they serve over personal gain. Kabanda made the remarks during the economic summit organized by the patron Miracle Center Cathedral Church Lubaga, Robert Kayanja, who was led by Pastor Dr. Paul Enenche and attended by leaders at various levels. The summit held in Kampala yesterday brought together pastors, ministers from central government, leaders from corporate companies, and community leaders. These were trained on the art of leadership by Pastor Dr. Paul Enenche from Nigeria. Pastor Enenche has been concluding his evangelistic mission in Uganda, accompanied by his wife and their daughter since Monday, when they flew into the country. Since their arrival, the Pentecostal and charismatic-styled pastors have preached to the large gatherings at Millennium Grounds Lugogo and Miracle Center Cathedral Church Lubaga. In his speech, Pastor Paul Enenche, the founder of Dunamis International Gospel, situated in Abuja, Nigeria, advised leaders not to boast over titles and responsibilities. The guest of honor, also Kampala Minister Hajati Minta Kabanda, urged leaders to prioritize the interests of the people that they serve over personal gain. Right, let's have a look at what we have in the forex rates today. As of 10th September 2025, the US dollar opened at 3,495.23 and was selling at 3,505.23, and by midday it had dropped to 3,495.18 and went on to actually increase in value by close of day at 3,505.91 and was selling at 3,515.91. The British pound was buying at 4,746.30 and buying at selling rather at 4,759.83. The euro was buying at 4,105.94 and selling at 4,117.65. The Kenyan shilling was at 27.13 and selling at 27.21. The Tanzanian shilling increased there to 1.40 and selling at 1.41. The South African rand buying at 200.12 and selling at 200.69. And that's it for GMU Business. Today, up next is the agenda. We are looking at matters water for all. Conversation that is very necessary and important to you because, you pay a water bill and you use water on a daily. So 0709 602 592 is the WhatsApp number. Be a part of the conversation and look forward to it. Good morning.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we begin to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala, 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, this, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
With support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
The Presidential CEO Forum will host the 6th Biennial Private Sector CEO Retreat, Marketing Uganda. The retreat will take place from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 at Mountains of the Moon Hotel in Fort Portal City, Kabarole District. It will be held under the theme Transforming Uganda into a Preferred Tourism Destination, Enhancing Public-Private Investment in Infrastructure, Conservation, Digitalization, Product Diversification, Marketing and Tourist Safety. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The government's mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
The Front Bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice and commerce.
Why do you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers? You bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport.
If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big 5. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we begin to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
The Presidential CEO Forum will host the 6th Biennial Private Sector CEO Retreat, Marketing Uganda. The retreat will take place from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 at Mountains of the Moon Hotel in Fort Portal City, Kabarole District. It will be held under the theme, Transforming Uganda into a Preferred Tourism Destination, Enhancing Public-Private Investment in Infrastructure, Conservation, Digitalization, Product Diversification, Marketing and Tourist Safety. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, They uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early, only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Good morning. Time for the agenda. Now, earlier on, I'd mentioned that we would be having a conversation on water in Uganda, but unfortunately, we are not able to, and we bring apologies, our apologies over that. However, we still have a lot to talk about. Now, it's the road to 2026, and over 200 nominations were picked up from the Electoral Commission. Lots of things to look at, but 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be a part of the conversation as well. I am not alone in studio. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono alongside you to have this conversation. Now, like I mentioned, over 200 candidates picked up nomination forms. And when it comes to presidential candidates, indeed, so far, 11 presidential aspirants have handed in voter lists. We did look at that list at the start of the show, but not a crime to look at it again. Robert Chagulanyi returned his, Mubarak Munyagwa returned his, representing Common Man's Party. Dr. Deo Luchamuzi representing, he is an independent, Deo Luchamuzi Chizito. Fred Wakuli, Revolutionary Party. Godfrey Bosiku, independent. And James Mubangizi, who is also under independent. Also Jimmy Akena, Uganda People's Congress, and David William Mapgezi, independent. Also Joseph Mabirizi from Conservation Party. We remember him in 2016, and many of us called him Mabrizi, but really it's Joseph Mabirizi. I look forward to what he has this time round, as well as Michael Nkwanga, who is on the independent ticket. And I remember Felix, the name skips my mind, but it was Felix Wycliffe, actually, Kasaija, as well, returned his forms as well, and Evans Mayambala did as well. And Robert Chagulanyi actually submitted more than was required. That was what Louis Rubongoya was stating as he represented him. And yes, this means that they are now awaiting verification. Robert, what are you viewing? From what lens and what are you seeing in the aftermath from those that have so far handed in their signatories?
Well, first, I'm happy that the framers of our electoral laws and the Constitution had a point at which we separate the serious from the unserious. Because picking nomination forms, any Ugandan who is above 18 years and a registered voter, when they open up to pick nomination forms, can go and pick. That also annoys at a certain extent because you keep the venue very busy. Remember one who even came to Buyungu. You call them? Skilts. We saw drama.
There's one who turned up with colored hair.
Colored hair,
pink,
another
green.
one. I've talked about this one who meandered in boots and a khaki short and a funny coat, then a tie. You know, something of great importance is turned into something to play around with. The unseriousness that we saw during. So many of us felt that at least there would have been a sieve even at that level. But unfortunately, or fortunately, because a sign of democracy, because there are countries where even if they opened up, if you're wise enough, you don't dare to go and pick nomination forms. But Uganda, that's a sign of democracy, that anyone who wills can go and pick forms. Now, you may keep them to show your grandchildren that you once had plans to govern the country, or for, you know, social media also gives opportunities, you know, to be known to whatever, you know. But I'm happy that there is a point now where you require to have at least a minimum of 100 seconders. Now, these are people who are voters, registered voters. They have their national IDs.
Right.
And they are willing to pen signature supporting you to contest as a presidential candidate. And once they do it for you, they can't do it for any other candidate. If that is detected, that particular person is disqualified. So they'll tell you, yes, you brought signatures, but they were. And you can't forge. The Electoral Commission has ways it does vet and the expertise they use, which I don't know, to know that you didn't sit somewhere and some now in a cabaret, sign here, just like that. Your name must be attached to that as well. So that sieve alone, I guarantee you, traversing this country, Julie, is expensive. Going to 98 districts is expensive. A person who has the capacity to do that and to walk that extra mile to do that, one would say he's one of the serious contestants or aspirants, because many of them are not going to bother to go that far because they know what it takes. Julie, if you're going to travel today and go to Kapchorwa to collect signatures, then you move there, go to Chivale, then you move, come to the central, then again, it is expensive. And I highly doubt that you're just going to go and meet everyone, I'm contesting for presidency, please sign for me. You know, maybe sometimes, some Ugandans, it may even involve your pocket to do that. So that shows that now the number is going to be trimmed and limited. And now we can say we have the people, or we are going to have a number by closure of receiving signatures and the Electoral Commission, because it's not just a matter of you saying these are the signatures. They give themselves time to go through before you're declared a presidential candidate. These are aspirants now. So before they nominate you as a candidate, they must verify these signatures.
Right.
And we shall have definitely a few out of the 200 plus, we may not have candidates exceeding 20 if there will be many.
Oh yeah, usually the number has been at most 8.
At most 8.
At most 8.
At most 8.
I wonder if 2026 shall have more than 8.
And of course, a ballot paper
await.
would not look that very good when you have, say, 20 candidates. You know, also campaigning programs, because the Electoral Commission must sit and draw a campaigning program. Where are you going to be? Where so-and-so will not be? There's so much involved that you need as low as you can in terms of numbers.
Right.
People who are contesting.
Good morning, Uganda. It's me, Ibrahim, from Zambia. Thank you for the show. My view is that right now in Uganda, there is no one who is capable and has the sense of leadership according to African teaching, because we know that you have to be somewhere militaristic due to the evidence of the coups even in the recent years. What's your 2 cents on this comment?
Given our history, because many of the Ugandans have seen, most of the generation we have lived under one leadership.
Right.
Which has its history attached to military. So they may hardly believe that we need a person, that a civilian or a person without a military background can lead a country. But you see, that lies in the hands of the majority of the Ugandans. Individually, you can't decide that. Coups, I see what's happening in Nepal.
Yep.
We've seen what has happened around. But still of late, the coups are happening, for example, in Africa. Our internal works, when you look at Uncle Bob, Robert Mugabe, like how he left, it is his people who come up and say, when you look at Bashir, it is an inside job. They'll just wake up one day and come on national TV and declare the head of state is in safe hands. The way they are doing it of late, and not these ones of guns fighting, overthrowing the government. No, it is the people within the system that eat up the other, protect him, and another one takes over.
Interesting.
Of late, the coup no longer have the other overthrowing a government through the barrel. And no, today when you look at, I can give you a list of countries on the African continent, how it has been. It's like a transition of people within that take over and protect that one that has been
overthrown.
Yeah.
Speaking,
so, the civilians will come. The military is already we assured His Excellency will be back. NRM has been very clear. He's theirs. He was unopposed. The delegates conference is finished. But also the likes of Chagulanyi, we can confirm he will be on the ballot. And there are those we know that will be there that are civilians, but the power lies in the hands of Ugandans.
True story. Yes. And speaking of the military, this brings to memory the mock military parade of celebrating Honorable Chagulanyi's 43rd birthday that has seen a number of arrests take place this week. We saw Alex Waiswa Mufumbira also taken in there on that, Sauda Madada also taken in there on that, and all these are actually candidates who are contesting, aspiring to be leaders. Where do you think this leaves their political career? But anyways, do you think this is the law at play or politics at play?
One, first and foremost, these are political animals. You know?
First, elaborate why you're using the word animals.
You see, the people that committed the offense, the alleged offense, because we assume they are innocently proven guilty by a competent court, and evidence therefore induced in court to satisfy the judges. Now, these are politicians. If these were ghetto boys who organized themselves, ghetto girls who organized themselves and had this military parade, war things, or if it was a group of, you know, you have this alien skin, Zimuran or something, or if it was him because one of those notorious people who do certain things sometimes that are very, you know, we would say they're not political, they're artists. But now, these are politicians. By the fact that they are politicians, there's a very thin line to differentiate, or that you can use to say, this is strictly a crime committed and no politics involved. Depending on which side of the coin that you choose,
Yes.
to base your analysis. One, within our laws, because these have been produced in courts and competent courts, they are not in what we term safe houses, they are not where people don't know. No, they are arrested, paraded before court, and read their charges. And the judge, or whoever reads these, because the judge will do the judgment, bases on the law that according to section this and this, you're accused of, you know, you quote the law to accuse someone.
Yep.
And you have these charges to answer. Now, first and foremost, we must look at this one. What does it mean to National Unity Platform as a party? They're the democracy of our country. For the party as National Unity Platform, we don't forget, because you mentioned that these are candidates, that there is a power in sympathy when people are casting their vote globally. When a person is arrested or incarcerated, voters usually tend to have sympathy for that person and give them votes. So, for the candidates, this in one way gives them ground. I'll quote the late Mohamed Segirinya. He was my friend. He did interviews saying that as well, but Segirinya, away from making the phone calls, these continuous arrests, beatings, and all this, sympathy has power. Look at, we have members of parliament who have come to parliament after the death of their father, the death of their mother, or the death of their spouse, and people will give you on sympathy. For the candidates, it is bad they are inside, but it has the power. Now, for example, my dad had issues there. When a person says, I'm a foot soldier, they are now even inside, because that's why when you listen to Alex, he's being calculative. Every time he makes statements, even if they do this, I will not leave Robert Kyagulanyi. He's a politician. These may be political games, by the way. Even if they do this, people have met me in prison, then have told me they are giving me a lot of money to denounce. That may even have never been. Now, I saw something saying his opponent, Kabaziruka, you see, targeting sympathy, sending a message. I'm still in the race, much as I've been arrested. It is my opponent which hunting me. So these are politicians, and to them it works. Now for the party, National Unity Platform.
Right.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work for the party. Why? It creates fear. You're going into a campaign. You need these youth to run around. You need the vibe. You need the people. Now, if the public fears associating with you closely, if someone says we've arrested these ones and others at large, meaning we are still looking for others. If a person knows, when I go to the headquarters, what if I'm among those? This one was picked at court. So it intimidates your supporters. That's why Robert Kyagulanyi said, he was, even if, to encourage his people, don't lose hope. It may, to one extent, even interfere with who would come to the polls to vote for you. So for the party, it doesn't work for them. For the candidates, it works for them because there's a sympathy vote. Not to say that prison is a good place. No one, and in Uganda, is so it's a very bad thing. But that is how it plays. Now to the democracy of the country. Believe you me, some of these things I had to explain to ordinary Ugandans. That a parade that was committed at some time T, you've now been able to gather evidence and started carrying out arrests. It is hard to convince them that people are being arrested to answer crimes they committed and not political persecution. You may understand it, right. The lawyers may understand it, but to the ordinary. And the bad thing is, because of the world being a global village, there are those that are using these to show that our democracy is not at the level at which it has reached.
Right.
That can exploit this situation to show that, no, Uganda is not that democratic enough when opposition figures are being persecuted.
Right.
Yet they are being arrested to answer crimes they committed.
Right. Indeed, it's the road to 2026. A lot of things have happened over the week. I believe we'll probably talk about some even tomorrow as we open the show, because I mean, I wanted us to look at the issue of independence. It's also been, I think, from the NUP card, NRM primaries,
political parties.
106 parties were represented at picking up nomination forms, and over 160 independent candidates have picked up nomination forms.
Now, independent candidates are okay, but those that belong to a certain political party.
Yes.
Look at what happened in the NRM. The cancelling of Dr. Tango Doi, that is son, Collins. Tanga. You know, these people who are grieved, look at what is happening in National Unity Platform. The likes of Bobby Giant.
Right.
You know, these he didn't come as an independent, but Sauda Madada. These really are going to affect and shape 2026. Either you're losing more members of parliament or you're gaining more.
Right. Now, time is against us, and this is because Ruben is coming with John Burns to talk a lot of sports, something that you need to stay.
Got money.
Yes, the Uganda Cranes players got money. They were in Parliament yesterday at the floor of Parliament. They were hosted by Parliament. But let's end this with some of your views. Thank you so much for being on the show. Good morning, Uganda. I'm Aid Fabiano from Nakawa. Indeed, Uganda needs a president who has a military background, who is patriotic. Ugandans can babble words, especially to leaders, but a military person is strong-hearted. That is Fabiano Aid. And somebody else comes through and says, good morning. This is Chasho Fred from Sironko District, Director, Sifted High School, Sironko. The only way these other presidential candidates would just front one opposition candidate to face the President Museveni is to face President Museveni. Otherwise, that's the only way. It does not carry meaning, as the Uganda Electoral Commission will be overwhelmed, and now we'll have a lot of ballot papers. And this is Chasho Fred. And finally, thank you for the show. I'm Ibrahim from Zambia. Thank you for the show. My view is that right now in Uganda, there's no one who's capable and has a sense of leadership. And thanks for the show. The bad thing, I have forgotten the name, but sometimes in life we are the cause of our sufferings. But these NUP members, there is an extent where they exaggerate in their activities. These are the expressions of our viewers here on Good Morning Uganda, and thank you so much for always choosing to watch the show and be a part of the conversations that we table for you. For now, let us leave room for Ruben and John Burns. We'll be back tomorrow for Good Morning Uganda, the Friday edition, which is lighter and one that launches you into the weekend. Good morning. Have a great day.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
The Presidential CEO Forum will host the 6th Biennial Private Sector CEO Retreat, Marketing Uganda. The retreat will take place from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 at Mountains of the Moon Hotel in Fort Portal City, Kabarole District. It will be held under the theme Transforming Uganda into a Preferred Tourism Destination, Enhancing Public-Private Investment in Infrastructure, Conservation, Digitalization, Product Diversification, Marketing and Tourist Safety. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
My friend